Kari, Grant, and Tory set sail for a physics thought experiment.
All right, so what's the next myth?
No, this is all wrong. Somehow this seems totally inappropriate to tell you about this myth. I can fix this. Come here, follow me.
This seems like a bad idea.
You know what happened the last time?
Yep, and I still can't sit down.
Okay, now this is what I'm talking about.
So can you tell us what we're doing out here?
Yeah, what are we testing the myth that if we take Grant sailing, he's gonna throw up?
No, but we're actually doing a sailing myth, so I figured why would we be in the blueprint room when we could be out here?
All right, well, can we get on with it? Because this is a ticking time bomb.
Okay, well, our next myth is actually this year's plane on a conveyor belt. It's called Blow Your Own Sail.
That's the one that if you have a windless day, if you take a giant fan and blow it into your sail, you can actually start sailing.
Exactly, but fans say it might not work.
Right, because of Newtonian physics.
All right, well, I think we need to get to the bottom of this one.
Or get sick trying.
Speak for yourself, landlubber.
It's a classic physics fable. Becalmed in the doldrums, our hero pulls out a fan, whips up a wind, and hey presto, she's blowing her own sail. But do Newton's laws really mean this myth is dead in the water? What happens if you take this physics thought experiment into the real world?
Okay, it's not because I'm prone to getting seasick, but shouldn't we go back to the shop and do some small-scale experiment?
What? Why? I mean, we're here now. Let's just put a fan on here and go for it.
Well, the problem is it's not a windless day. We won't know if we're sailing because of our fan or because of a change in the wind.
He's got a good point. All right, why don't we go back to the shop, do some small-scale tests, get some miniature sailboats and some miniature fans and find out exactly what's happening before we go full scale.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Grant is looking a little green, isn't he?
So to avoid Grant's nautical nausea, it's back to terra firma, where the goal is getting to grips with the underlying science of the story.
So this myth is essentially about Newton's laws, and specifically his first law, which states that an object will remain in its current state of motion unless acted upon by an external force. Now in our case, the object is the boat. Current state of motion, at rest. The external force, the wind, acts upon the boat and causes it to move along. Now, in the case of our sailor, if this person were able to generate the wind while sitting on the boat, it's no longer an external force, they're internal, in the same frame of reference. So when they blow on it, theoretically, the boat won't move.
And worryingly for the myth, it's not just Newton's first law making movement unlikely.
So there is another Newtonian principle, that is the third law of motion, which says that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So therefore, if the fan is blowing wind into the sail, it's also pushing the fan backwards. If this is true, these two forces are gonna cancel each other out, and this boat's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna stall.
So with two of Newton's laws lining up to sink this seagoing saga, the team prepares for a proof of concept test. One that will put the scientific theory into practice. And while Kari makes a raft on wheels, Tory stays high and dry on a fake blue sea. Because although this myth is all about boats, there's no need to get wet yet.
Now, obviously, we could test it on water, but water poses a couple of problems. One, it takes a lot of force to get the boat to move through the water. 0.44 pounds to be exact. Plus, getting the boat to move straight in the water is gonna be another problem we have to overcome. But I have a solution for both of those. Instead of using the boat and water, we're gonna use this cart with wheels on this flat piece of acrylic. That way, the cart will go straight and we're gonna reduce the amount of friction. It only takes 0.24 pounds of force to move this car. This is gonna be perfect.
Kari, Grant, and Tory are tackling a maritime myth that contradicts the father of physics. Can you move your boat by blowing your own sail? To find out, they're setting up a small-scale proof of concept.
Okay, the next step is the fan. So I got a whole bunch of little desk fans. I'm gonna see if any of them are gonna work for this experiment. When I turn them on and put them on here, it should push the little car backwards.
Kari needs to find a fan
Okay, you're not gonna work?
with a power-to-weight ratio
Nope,
that will make the raft move.
I think it's too heavy.
The desk fans are just too feeble, so Kari goes for broke with a model airplane propeller.
Okay, ready? That ought to work.
Meanwhile, Grant has a small-scale sail up his sleeve. And after he rigs it to the raft, the guys are all set to clear up the fan site controversy. Wow! When you blow your own sail, will you stall as the Newtonian advocates predict, or sail off into the sunset?
All right, now it's time to replicate the myth in small scale. We have our fan attached to our raft, which is going to be blowing into the sail that's attached to the raft. Now, according to Newton's third law of motion, these two forces should cancel each other out, and this boat is gonna stall.
So just like in the myth, the wind source is on the boat.
Blow your own sail.
Here we go.
All right.
That's great. All right, looks like Newton's laws are canceling out cartoon laws.
Yep, and here's how. If you do a test without the sail, using just the fan, you can see there's enough thrust to move the boat backwards. But put a sail in the way, and that backwards thrust is canceled out by the equal and opposite force pushing the boat forward. The boat stalls, and the myth is busted. Or is it? Because our intrepid trio aren't giving up so easily.
All right, Sir Isaac Newton, you're probably not watching the show because, let's face it, you're not alive anymore. But just because we can't break your laws doesn't mean we're gonna stop here.
So far in Blow Your Own Sail, there are no flaws in Newton's laws. The forward thrust captured by the sail has an equal and opposite force pushing backwards, leaving the boat grounded. But it's not over yet. The team thinks that tweaking the variables might get things moving.
So we're gonna do all sorts of experiments. We're gonna try different sails, we're gonna try different winds, and we're gonna see if we can actually blow your own sail.
Yep, with the fan, sail, and boat all in proportion, everything is canceled out. So they're starting by making their small-scale sail smaller.
Now, you're probably asking yourself, why are you guys testing a small sail? But if you look to the graphic, you'll see what I think is gonna happen. I think that the wind is gonna actually get around the small sail and push the sailboat backwards.
Now, given what we've seen so far, it may seem surprising to you that we think the boat is going to travel backwards. Now, there's a lot of thrust coming off of this prop. If the size of the sail is small compared to the source of the wind, you may get some of that thrust escaping around the edges of the sail, giving us a net thrust pushing the boat backwards.
Please don't laugh at the size of my sail.
It's cute.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, look at that. It cancels itself out.
All right, you know what? Should we turn up the speed?
Sure.
Yeah, let's try it, see what happens.
That was
backwards.
It seems if the sail contains all of the fan's thrust, the boat is marooned. But tweak the sail size and fan speed, and you start moving. However, they're heading in the wrong direction. To reverse that, maybe they need to go bigger.
For the next test, we've stepped up the size of the sail. But to do that, we also had to raise the fan so that the airstream hits right into the center of our sail. Hopefully, this will propel the boat.
Ready when you are.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's not going forward at all. The forces are still canceling each other out.
Can you dial it up?
Going to 100%.
Whoa, that's looking scary.
It's starting to go. It's starting to go.
Faster. Moving forward. Hey! With faster wind speeds, you can blow your own sail.
All right, look, I'm not a sailor and I'm not an aeronautical engineer, but this is what I think is happening. So, the fan provides a certain amount of thrust that blows into the sail. The sail, in turn, can only absorb so much of that thrust. The rest of it gets reflected back, leaving us with a net thrust vector, causing the boat to go forward.
Yep, the reflection means the sum of the total thrust is in a forward direction.
So you just need a lot more wind.
A lot more.
What is the most wind we can produce? What's the biggest fan we can use?
Jet engine.
Yeah, that
Now
would
you're
be
talking.
awesome. What a great proof of concept, though.
Concept proven. Now, to up the ante with more power. Jet engine power. Kari, Grant, and Tory have found that with enough puff and a big enough sail, it is possible to blow your own sail.
More power.
but their little toy raft didn't move very fast. To nail this seagoing saga in the small scale, the team feel the need for more speed.
So we are moving on to a jet cap model turbine engine. This thing can make a model plane fly at 250 miles an hour. It puts out 17.5 pounds of thrust. This is gonna give us the wind speeds that we need. But first, what I need to do is mount this engine to our longboard skateboard. And the reason why we're using a longboard skateboard is because this thing puts out so much heat. We gotta keep our sail away from the source.
And speaking of heat,
So one of the problems with upgrading our source of thrust to a jet engine is that the exhaust gases can be in excess of 600 degrees Celsius. Now this is silk. This is the ideal material we found for our small scale experiment. The only problem with silk is that when you expose it to flame, this happens.
so while Grant looks into flame-resistant sail materials, Tory gets busy with the sailboard build. Just like before, they'll be on land using wheels rather than on water in a boat.
It's kind of fitting that we're using this jet engine because a long time ago, I actually built a jet engine out of a vacuum cleaner motor. It didn't have much thrust. I mean, it practically had no thrust at all. But it's kind of cool to actually use a real jet engine for an experiment.
With the baby engine on board, it's over to Grant.
Okay, so this is flame-resistant material. This is a 6061 aluminum frame, which has a melting temperature above that of the jet exhaust. This is the kind of sail you're gonna need if you're gonna use a jet engine to blow yourself along.
The jet-powered sailboard is done. Now to give it a run. There are not many places you can fire off a mini jet engine, but a creepy, abandoned naval base is one.
This thing looks dangerous.
Yeah, I think we need to ride it before we test. What do you think?
Ride a jet-powered skateboard.
Yeah, are you guys dying to do it?
Not really, but I would enjoy another decade of watching you fall off this thing in slow motion. It worked for the bicycle.
Coming up this Christmas, Tory's jetpack skateboard. They're totally safe.
Before Tory attempts this stunt, I would like to just say for the record, before the high speed of him falling in some horrific way, I think this is a very bad idea.
So before we start doing the experiment, I want to test this engine. So I've turned the engine around, that way I can ride it and I won't burn my butt.
Unfortunately for Tory, our health insurance actually covers a full body cast.
Kind of getting nervous, I don't know why.
So if anything untoward should happen, he'll be covered.
What could possibly go wrong? I got a jet engine strapped to the skateboard.
All right, fire it up. Medic standing by. Somebody dial 911.
On his jet-powered skateboard is Tory about to take a trip to the future or a trip back to the ER.
Oh my God, it works! Every kid's gonna want one of these for Christmas.
Now that was a good test. I mean, what that tells me is that the jet engine, which, mind you, is only this big, provides enough thrust to carry Tory, who weighs 175 pounds, on top of the skateboard. Now, if we replace Tory with the sail, I think we're gonna have plenty of thrust for our experiment.
Now, proving the concept of this myth wasn't enough for us. I mean, we had a small scale and we proved that wind could push our sail. But the point of this is you need to escape the doldrums. So to do that, you need adequate speed. And I think this jet engine is gonna give us adequate speed.
All right, this is extreme blow your own sail.
Do it.
Oh, I love this sound.
That worked perfectly. The jet engine was powerful enough to overcome the canceling forces, and we got our sailboat to move forward.
Hey, we did it! We blew our own sail! Nice!
So initially, when we started out testing this myth, it was with a very small boat on top of a table. And this is what we do. We step things up each time, and we've gone to a jet-powered skateboard with a fireproof sail. And I've got to say, this is great, because what this says is that each time, it's been possible to blow your own sail. Now we just got to go up to the big thing, the real thing, the boat.
Next step's gonna be fun.
Full scale, baby.
And back at the shop, they've taken delivery of just the thing, a boat with a built-in fan.
So we are gonna take this myth full scale, and this is the boat we are gonna use. It is a shallow water spider swamp boat, and this thing comes with a fan, which is attached to a 40 horsepower engine that's capable of putting out 200 pounds of thrust. We're gonna take this fan, flip it around, put up a mast, put up a sail, and see if we can blow our own sail.
It was dragging me. It was actually pulling me off my feet. I think this is gonna do it.
With Grant measuring wind speeds of 63 miles per hour, this puppy is clearly powerful enough. Which means it's time to take delivery of the sail and get busy with the rigging.
Okay, now that we have the sail, it's time to erect the mast. Now we're making it out of aluminum because it's lightweight and has a really high tensile strength. But we're making a removable base completely out of steel. We want to clamp onto the boat instead of drilling or welding because it's a borrowed boat and it's gorgeous.
Against all odds, our team of landlubbers has built and rigged its own square sail from scratch.
Faster, go faster. Woo!
Ready to blow your sail?
Yeah, I don't have enough wind.
To find out if it'll go when the fan blows, it's time to take this test down to the waterline.
We found ourselves a lake that's completely isolated, so we have no current and no wind. This should be the perfect place to experiment.
And the perfect place for a pre-test joyride. With the throttle full on, the team thrashes around, getting their bearings and getting a feel for the swamp boat's fan-powered thrust. It handles beautifully.
Love it.
But will it sail?
Okay, so here's the plan. We've got our full-size fan boat and our full-size sail. We'll get out on the water and try it first in its regular configuration with the fan facing backward. And we'll turn it on and hopefully go forward. Then, we're going to flip the fan around, raise the sail,
All right, we're in.
and see if you can actually blow your own sail. There she blows!
So first up, with the fan pointing backwards, Kari and Grant will do a straight line speed test. That way, when they get the sail up and face the fan forwards, they'll have a reference for their performance.
How do you feel about calling this the Queen Airy?
She may have a name, but the Queen Airy is not off to the best of starts.
I think we're in a bit of a predicament here.
The weight of the sail is making it very tricky to maneuver.
You guys are going 0 miles an hour.
But despite Tory's encouragement,
Looks like these islands are boat magnets.
Grant and Kari do finally get into position.
First test up is the fan in the right configuration, the sail down. I'm gonna get in the chase boat, have them drive towards me, and I'm gonna check their speed with the radar gun. They're so jealous of my boat. They don't want to race. They don't want me to open up my motor. Look at the, pink fan, good one.
Okay, you ready?
All right, this is the first test. Fan facing backwards, sail down, speed test. Here we go.
Now, if you asked me when we were in the shop, when we first turned on the swamp boat, and Grant took out the anemometer and got 60 miles an hour standing behind the fan, I would have said that blow your own sailboat was going to, boom, blast across the water. But now that we've done a test with the mast on, even with the sail down, it really slowed down the boat. I think we're gonna get some movement, but it's gonna be slight.
How fast were we?
20 miles an hour. That was a good test. Let's flip the fan around and put the sail up and see how fast we go when we blow our own sail. Oop.
Kari, Grant, and Tory are preparing to flip the fan and raise the sail for a physics-defying finale. They're about to find out, with a real boat on real water, if it's possible to really blow your own sail. But plain sailing, it's not.
I feel like there might be just a little element of danger here.
Hope that holds.
I mean, the swamp boat is not meant to have the fan backwards, and it's definitely not meant to have this giant lumbering sail on it. How's your line of sight? I think we might actually have a little danger of tipping. I just really don't want to get wet today.
All right, you guys ready to raise the sail?
Raise the mainsail! Trim the jib job!
I'm trimming as fast as I can!
Now, in order for this myth to be confirmed, what we're looking for is forward movement due to the fan blowing into the sail. Not drifting, not just poking along. We're actually talking about directed forward movement. You get that? I'm looking at confirmed.
Okay, I think that looks parallel.
So what we're also interested in is the comparison of the speed of the fan blowing into the sail versus the fan pointed backwards.
All right, you guys ready?
Will we get improvement? Probably not. The target that we're looking at is 20 miles an hour. If we get even a quarter of that, 5 miles an hour, I would be very, very impressed.
Happy sailing!
Now, one might ask how I feel piloting our feat of naval engineering here, combining two things essentially that should not go together. My answer is that really there's no piloting involved. We turn this thing on, it either goes forward or it doesn't move at all.
Or, and it's a very real possibility, the shallow bottom boat with its top-heavy sail goes bottom up.
Okay, we're in.
We have no idea what can go wrong. I mean, the mast could blow off, the boat could flip over, they might get sucked into the fan and chopped up into little pieces. Hey, good sailing. Good luck.
What was that about being sucked into the fan?
Chopped into little pieces?
They're off. Tory and the support vehicle tows them out to open water. With plenty of space, no major winds or currents, it's the perfect location for a spot of scientific sailing.
All right, you ready to do this?
Ready.
Okay, here we go. This is blow your own sail with the full-size boat.
I gotta tell you, the funniest part about this whole experiment is when we first turned on that fan and the boat just started to spin and dip down in one direction. Grant and I both were super wide-eyed because we thought we were going over.
They're wildly out of control. There's no forward movement, just a whole lot of spinning and crashing.
So when we first started and I gunned it, we started turning in a circle and I was like, this is it, that's it, we're going in the water. But I turned it down and we tried it again, and actually what I found was, yeah, it's moving forward. You keep vectoring the fan, if you keep that thrust at the sail, you can actually get it to go forward. And you have to stay on it, you can't just set it and forget it. You have to keep working it, but eventually you do get to go forward.
There she goes! Look at it, they're going forward! We blew our own sail! It's working!
By ramping it up MythBusters style, the team has seemingly contradicted Newtonian physics. It's working. They're blowing their own sail.
Now this was nuts. We only got 3 miles an hour, but we actually got movement. We got forward movement, and we were able to steer by pointing the wind into different parts of the sail. I have to say, this is a successful day.
3 miles an hour!
No doubt they'd go a lot faster with the fan facing backwards and no sail. But that's not the point. The myth asks, can you power a sailboat with your own fan? And you can.
Now, I don't know exactly what's going on because apparently we're flying in the face of Newton's laws, but here's what I think is happening. We have a significant amount of thrust coming out of this fan. It's hitting the sail. The sail can only push so much. The rest of that thrust gets reflected back, giving us a net thrust, pushing us in the forward direction.
And forward in both directions. because to prove that real wind wasn't a factor, Grant and Kari sail both ways.
Dude, that was awesome!
I cannot believe it. We blew our own sail.
This one is totally confirmed.
Totally confirmed. I mean, this thing went forward with the wind from our own fan.
Confirmed! All right, here we go!
Let's go for a